Hope all's well. I bet you're cringing with all the tornadoes jumping around, Nancy. It's been a wild last couple 3 days in the Midwest. Uh, Unfortunately, day before yesterday, the town of Oklahoma got wiped out. They don't know. They're still measuring the size of the tornado that hit it, but it was a good sized one. So I'm kind of worried about my family members that live in the Missouri area and the Ozarks area. So anyway, it's Friday, April 21st. Oh, you got flooding. Oh, bummer. Well, if all the rain has been falling across the country, it hasn't really matters any. And I know some areas are still getting snow. Um, so, like I said, just stay safe and just be careful. Anyway, of course, I don't know if you heard today or happened kind of yesterday, but Marjorie Taylor Greene got booted off the powerful Homeland Security. Hey, Dorothy! Homeland Security. And so she's banned from that committee. The chairman, who is a Republican, but he's not a mega rat Republican or anything. He's just a regular Republican. And he booted her off. He was tired of her rude behavior, her antics, and lying, and everything else. He goes, no more. I want her off the committee. So he booted her off yesterday. And she made a very derogatory comment toward the Secretary of Homeland Security, and he stopped her right there and he said, no more. The words will be taken down, it'll be stricken from the record, and except for internal as to why you did this. And you were no longer allowed to speak or anything. In other words, she was cut off. And he cut her off. He cut off her microphone. He was tired. He said, this is inappropriate behavior. And so anyway, she is no longer on that committee, thank goodness. And how is she? I'm sure that the chairman will be talking to the Speaker in the House on this. And he says, we don't need any more of this. Okay. So I'm glad somebody took the initiative and gave her the boot. And the other thing in the news, the movie that Alec Baldwin was going to make called Rust. The charges have been dropped, and it's been they're still investigating as to why. But the person who was handling the props and the guns and everything else, those charges are still pending against her. Apparently, she had a safety record, real bad safety record, and so they're going against her. And I kind of wonder if there wasn't kind of an internal squabbling. But the charges have been dropped against him on this. He may have fired the gun, but technically he did not. He didn't know the gun had a live bullet in it. Okay, he assumed when it was handed to him that the gun had blanks, and but he didn't know that there was a live bullet in there. And it was proven because none of the with the bullet, it did not have his fingerprints on it. So we'll see how that turns out. Oh, and if any of you had a chance yesterday, to watch the SpaceX Starship launch, flight test launch. It was pretty noisy. 32 engines. When it blasted off, it did some damage to the launch pad. Because about three quarters up, altitude wise, 6 of the engines went out. 6 of the 32 engines went out. And then it started having some trajectory issues. It started tumbling and it was trying to right itself. But with the 6 engines not working to really keep it going, for some reason it failed to separate so that the other 3 engines could keep going. 4 engines could keep going. Well, it couldn't, for some reason it couldn't separate, and they don't know what happened there, what caused that there. But it did lift off and did get through max Q, which is max Q in rocket science. It's a term called max Q. When it reaches a certain altitude and it exerts a lot of pressure on the rocket itself. Okay. So when it reached max Q, it passed out, which is good. That's when the separation issues started. And that's when they decided to fly. The safety range officer, and he goes, you know what, we're going to have to self-destruct. We don't want anybody hurt. And so Eldon gave a go-ahead, said, yeah, self-destructed for safety reasons. So it self-destructed over the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, it was to flight test at Nancy. It's what they call Flight 0. It's it would be unmanned because if it's a flight test, it's not cleared for actual human flight as of yet. They got another rocket ready to go. It's an S-25, and it's got a lot more improvements. They said they learned a lot of information on S-24. They received a ton of data from it as to why this one issue happened. In any flight test of any vehicle, whether it be a plane or a rocket, there's bound to be issues. And that's how you learn. And so that way they could fix it or redesign something. That's how it's done. Well, look at the Gemini and Apollo programs on NASA's side. Look at that. It's basically the same method. The S-25 will be ready in a couple of months. And the FAA cleared it and they approved the plan for that very thing on the rocket itself. Because in the manned flight, like on this regular SpaceX and the Falcon 9 rockets, they have what they call a flight termination thing, except they eject or separate the capsule and have the capsule splash down in the ocean. And of course, the rest of the rocket be let go. But see, Falcon 9's a little different rocket, little different animal than the Starship Heavy rocket. But like I said, it lifted off and reached max Q, and then the separation for some reason wasn't working. So, and he said they got tons and tons and tons of data on it, and they figure out what's wrong and what they could do or what they have to redesign. So, the only thing they have to do now is repair the launch pad. Because when I watched her take off, watch her lift off, she acted like she was having trouble lifting off for some reason. I don't know if it's the clamps not letting go, or the engine, 32 out of the 6, let's see, hold on a second. Let me check something here. 32 engines minus 6. Okay. 6 engines were having issues, starting issues, and they did all lit up at once, but during the flight, that's when they went out. The 2 gimbal engines in the center flight went out, and then 4 other engines went out. Well, without the gimbal engines, you could not guide the rocket, and the rocket was trying to correct itself, and it was having some problems, so they got it fixed. Well, get it fixed, and they probably have to redesign something, maybe redesign the separation module or something on it. So that's how we learn, you know. And you see some of these people that really don't know much about why we spend money on this. This is on SpaceX's dime. This is not on our dime. SpaceX has got a very long-term contract with NASA, and NASA, which is a federal agency, to get our astronauts up at ISIS, cargo, and also they send up the Starlink satellites, and they're also designing one other Starship rocket, and they'll be using that to deploy the next couple of generations of Starlink satellites. So better deployment type thing. But anyway, they're working on this rocket to get it ready to go to the moon. Also provide, cargo, that type of thing to the moon. NASA would like to see SpaceX, help getting the equipment and the materials and everything to the moon when they got a spot picked out for a camp and to build it. And then fix a landing port for it. And then after 2030, hoping to go on, make it a waypoint to continue on to Mars and establish on Mars. It'll be really interesting how all this will turn out. What kind of colony would be on Mars and everything else, how they're going to set up their government and everything. And same way with the moon. The moon would probably be established more by NASA and SpaceX crews. We don't know how they're going to fix that or work that, but we'll see. So, thank you, Tim. Tim Cormel quickly popped in and gave a reaction, and thank you, Tim. Thank you. I thought I had my notification working on his show. I'm going to check that. For some reason, I don't know if you guys have that trouble. Is your notifications working? That's reminding you that I'm going live, or my when I put up what do you call it? Announcement. I'm really tired today. Has that been warning you guys okay? If not, also be sure to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel as well. Okay, good. I'm glad it's working. Okay, good. Thank you, Nancy. Let's see. a reason why I moved from the 1 o'clock chat show to 3 was there was a birthday celebrations event here in my apartment complex. And when I talked to my one neighbor, she said, this is very poorly planned. All they did was that whoever handled this, who was the head and handled this, just put out two plates of cupcakes, and that's it. And there was nobody else. And I go, well, okay. That's fine. But anyway, tomorrow's my birthday, and so I'm just going to spend a quiet day tomorrow. And also watch the Kraken play hockey, too. They lost last night to Colorado Avalanche. But right now they're tied 1-1. Thank you, Nancy. I think Dorothy and I share the same birthday, don't we, Dorothy? Oh, my poor nose. I'm fighting allergies right now. Sorry. Loki woke me up about 1:30 or 2:30 this morning, my black house panther. He woke me up, and I don't know what he wanted. I mean, he kept running over me, and then he decided to take his, I had my back slightly turned, and he just reached out with his claws and went with his claws, which hurts. He wanted something badly, I guess. Anyway, what else is going on? Well, I'll say happy birthday on your timeline, Dorothy. I'll probably hear from my daughter tomorrow. So, yes, I'm turning to the ripe old, not old, but ripe old age of 67. So, which is okay. It's really not bad. I mean, it's interesting. So, yes, us Tauruses have to stick together, right, Dorothy? So anyway, let's see what else. Let me check. I didn't have time to do my production notes. Okay, President Biden will be announcing his 2024 run for re-election. I'm sure you'll be re-elected. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay. Nothing on the headlines. It's been pretty kind of quiet today. So anyway, other than that, fun watching the MAGA GOP, the radical group, the far right group, imploding. Okay. And it's fun to watch Trump getting clobbered by the justice system once his fraud trial starts in New York. Next week is E.G. Carroll's trial, which starts on the 25th. Now, he's saying he's not going to be there at the trial. They don't have to be. But a lot of times when they don't, people that don't on a civil trial like that or a defamation trial, they tendency to lose because they are not there to, hey Virginia, anyway, when they don't have to be there at the trial, but when they're not there, then they have a tendency to lose that trial because they're not there to testify on their defense. So anyway, I think, you know, he who shall not be named is really pretty stupid. He's a real stupid guy. He's not listening, and his lawyers can't seem to get through their thick skulls. There are some rules and procedures that they have to follow. And so anyway, even Jordan is getting slapped. He's getting slapped by a lawsuit from Bragg for interfering. In other words, obstruction. And Jordan should be arrested for that. I don't care if he's a House representative. You know, guy doesn't seem to get it. And then those that think they're above the law, I'm saying like MTG, Jordan, you know, McCarthy, those guys, and Trump, don't think that they're above the law. The law can't touch them. Well, they're wrong. The law will touch them. They will be smacked back. And Trump will be smacked back. And that trial, the fraud trial, the 32 count one, I'm pretty sure that he will be convicted on all 32 counts. Because the evidence is so strong against him on that. And that requires both fines and jail time. Also including obstruction of justice carries jail time. Doesn't add a fine, but adds required jail time. So he will be jailed. It'll happen. Because the justice system is doing what it's supposed to do. And sure, people think it's slow and cumbersome and everything else. Well, you know, they have to follow procedures. And through the years, things were added, some were deleted, that type of thing as far as procedures go, what works and what doesn't work. Today it's a lot more complex than it was, let's say, 70 years ago. Okay? Because a lot of times the justice was miscarried. That's why the procedures were in place to prevent miscarriage of justice. Prosecutors state you have to make darn sure you have strong evidence against that person. If you have weak evidence or anything else, then it would not be what's the point of charging them? Because you're going to lose in court anyway. Okay? Now, after listening to Michael Cohen the other day on Midas Touch, I got the impression and everything else that he was basically railroaded. And I don't think they really listened to him. But you don't know all the facts and everything that's in the case. You don't, I don't have the notes or anything to it. So, but I felt like he was kind of being railroaded and Trump was throwing him under the bus so he could save himself. And that's the impression that I got. So, anyway, let's see. 3:30 already. Wow, that's fast. Time went flying by. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off early. I will see you guys. Let's see, I'm going to check my calendar. Just 1 minute. Okay, I will see you on the 24th at 1 o'clock for my for my chat show. Then on, let's see, on Wednesday, Wednesday. Wednesday I'm fine. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. And take care, stay safe, keep a weather eye to the sky. Because there's still storms roaming around there. So please be careful. And I'll see you guys on Monday, and I'll probably see you at the Blue Dot meeting if the Kraken falls on that same day. Oh, I will, Dorothy. You too. You too. And I'll see you guys later. I will post this on my YouTube channel, Ginger's Chat Show on my YouTube channel. And I need more subscribers. I need you to share. And you know, just have a good evening. I'm really tired today, so. And I will see you later. Okay? Talk to you later. Love you guys. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, and thank you for coming. Okay, bye-bye.